Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here today. It is truly an honor to stand before you and talk about something that touches every single one of us, whether we admit it or not: mental health. This topic is as important as our physical health, yet it doesn't get the same level of attention or care. I'm here to share my perspective, my journey, and my hope that together we can break the stigma, encourage healing, and remind ourselves that no matter how dark it gets, there is always a light worth fighting for. Now, many of you might know me as the guy without arms or legs. Yes, my physical condition, tetraamelia syndrome, means I was born without limbs. At first glance, you might think my biggest challenges are physical. That's understandable because they're visible. But I'm here to tell you that the hardest battles I fought in my life were never about my body. They were about my mind. They were about my heart. Growing up, I faced bullying, rejection, and the overwhelming sense that I didn't belong. Why me was a question I asked every single day. I would stare at my reflection and see someone who felt incomplete, someone who thought he would never find love, purpose, or happiness. At just 10 years old, I hit rock bottom. I wanted to end my life. I thought the world would be better off without me. But something stopped me that day. It was the love of my family, yes, but it was also a spark deep within me, a whisper that said, "Your story isn't over." And friends, that whisper grew louder over time. It reminded me that pain doesn't mean failure. Pain can be a bridge to purpose. You see, mental health is not about avoiding pain or pretending everything is fine. It's about learning how to face our struggles with courage, vulnerability, and hope. Just like physical health, it requires attention, effort, and sometimes asking for help, and that's okay. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness, it's a declaration of strength. In my darkest moments, I learned something powerful. I am not my circumstances. My worth is not defined by what I can or cannot do. My identity is not rooted in what the world says about me, but in how I choose to see myself. And you know what? The same is true for you. Mental health challenges can feel like an invisible weight, a silent struggle that isolates us from others. It might look like anxiety that keeps you up at night, depression that robs your joy, or trauma that haunts your every step. But let me remind you today, you are not alone. Your struggle does not make you unworthy. You are human, and humans are beautifully flawed, resilient, and capable of incredible growth. Let's talk about stigma. Society often tells us to just get over it, as if mental health is a switch we can flip. But would we ever say that to someone with a broken leg? Of course not. We'd offer them crutches, a cast, and compassion. So why do we treat mental health differently? It's time to change the narrative. It's time to normalize conversations about therapy, medication, self-care, and community support. For me, faith has been a cornerstone of my journey. My belief in God gave me a foundation to rebuild my life when it felt shattered. But whether you find strength in faith, friends, art, nature, or something else, the key is to find what keeps you grounded. Find what reminds you that even on your worst days, you are still worthy of love and belonging. Another important lesson I've learned is the power of gratitude. When I stopped focusing on what I lacked and started appreciating what I had, my perspective shifted. Gratitude doesn't erase challenges, but it gives you the strength to face them. It's like finding a light in the darkness. not enough to eliminate the storm, but enough to guide you through it. I also want to emphasize the importance of community. We were never meant to do life alone. Sometimes the greatest gift you can give someone is simply being there, listening without judgment, offering a kind word, or even just sitting in silence together. If you're struggling, please know there are people who care deeply about you. And if you see someone struggling, reach out. You might just be the lifeline they need. Let me share a quick story. A few years ago, I met a young woman who had lost all hope. She told me she felt like a burden to everyone around her. But after we spoke, she decided to give life another chance. Today, she's a mental health advocate, helping others find the strength she once thought she'd lost. Her story reminds me that our pain can become someone else's hope. Friends, mental health is not a destination, it's a journey. There will be highs and lows, victories and setbacks. But every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. Celebrate those steps. Be patient with yourself. And remember, healing is not linear. It's messy, it's hard, but it's worth it. As I close, I want to leave you with this. Your life matters. Your story matters. You are here for a reason, and the world needs the unique gifts only you can bring. Don't give up on yourself. Keep fighting, keep reaching out, and keep believing that brighter days are ahead. Thank you, and may you walk away today with a renewed sense of hope, strength, and purpose. You've got this.